Good morning. This is Pastor Brian. Today we read chapter 40 from Job, as we have been reading a chapter a day. I'll be reading from the Common English Bible. Feel free to follow along in your preferred translation. Today we hear a conversation between Job and God. The first time we've had a chapter that has been broken up with two different voices. So today let's read chapter 40. The Lord continued to respond to Job. Will the one who disputes with the Almighty correct him? God's instructor must answer him. Job responded to the Lord, Look, I'm of little worth. What can I answer you? I'll put my hand over my mouth. I have spoken once, I won't answer. Twice, I won't do it again. The Lord answered Job from the whirlwind, Prepare yourself like a man. I will interrogate you, and you will respond to me. Would you question my justice? Deem me guilty so you can be innocent? Or do you have an arm like God? Can you thunder with a voice like him? Adorn yourself with splendor and majesty. Clothe yourself with honor and esteem. Unleash your raging anger. Look on all the proud and humble them. Look on all the proud and debase them. Trample the wicked in their place. Hide them together in the dust. Bind their faces in a hidden place. Then I, even I, will praise you, for your strong hand has delivered you. Look at Behemoth, whom I made along with you. He eats grass like cattle. Look, his strength is in his thighs, his power in stomach muscles. He stiffens his tail like a cedar. The tendons in his thighs are tightly woven. His bones are like bronze tubes, his limbs like iron bars. He is the first of God's acts. Only his maker can come near him with a sword. Indeed, the hills bring him tribute, places where all the wild animals play. He lies under the lotuses, under the cover of reed and marsh. The lotuses screen him with shade. Poplars of the stream surround him. If the river surges, he doesn't hurry. He is confident even though the Jordan gushes into his mouth. Can he be seized by his eyes? Can anyone pierce his nose by hooks? So that is the end of chapter 40. What did you hear? What spoke out to you? As I mentioned at the beginning, we see that God kind of challenges Job to respond to him. And Job, after all this time of saying that he would like to have a court case with God, finally has that opportunity and decides that he's just going to cover his mouth and not speak anymore. And so then God then begins to talk about how much greater God is than Job, continuing to establish God's authority and God's power over Job, showing him that, there is a big difference between you and me. And then again, turning to God's creation, speaking about Behemoth, the first creature created. So what do you think about God continuing to establish God's majesty over Job, and to just continue to show Job the vast difference between God and people? Do you think Job showing humility was a good thing? Do you think that Job should have spoken up as he kind of wanted to in the beginning of this journey that we've seen them have together? So what did you make of this this particular chapter, this conversation, brief conversation between Job and God, and then God continuing to show Job just what God is made of. So write them down, share them with a friend, share them with us on social media, and think about why you might think it's so important for God to continue to establish all the things that God has done in response to Job's complaints throughout this book. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.